In the quiet town of Nobi, there lived a little boy named Chidi. He was 10 years old, tall for his age, and had the brightest smile in the whole street. Everyone loved him because he was polite and always greeted people. "Good afternoon, sir," or "Good morning, ma." His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Okeki, were known for their kindness. They were not rich, but they had peace and love in their home. Chidi's father was a mechanic. He worked hard fixing cars in his small workshop near the market. His mother sold akara and pap every morning by the roadside. They were simple people, but their home was filled with laughter. Every evening, after school, Chidi would run to the workshop to help his father, handing him tools or wiping sweat from his face. But not far from them lived Uncle Pascal, Chidi's father's younger brother. Everyone called him Odogwu Pascal because he liked to boast about his money and power. He was tall, strong, and had a loud voice, but behind that smile he showed people was a heart full of jealousy and wickedness. He didn't like seeing his brother happy. Uncle Pascal had always wanted what his brother had. When they were small, Chidi's father was the one their parents loved the most because he was gentle and honest. Pascal, on the other hand, was stubborn and greedy. Even now, as a grown man, that envy still burned in him like fire. One day, something terrible happened. Chidi's father got sick. At first, it was just cough and fever. Everyone thought it would go away. But as days went by, the sickness grew worse. He couldn't go to his workshop anymore. He could barely walk or eat. Chidi and his mother prayed every night for him to get well. When Uncle Pascal heard that his brother was sick, he came to visit. But his visit was not because of love. It was because he wanted to see if his brother would die. He stood by the door, pretending to care, and said, "Nah, you will be fine, just rest." But in his heart, he was already planning how to take over his brother's land and workshop. Days turned to weeks, and sadly, Chidi's father died. The whole town came for the burial. Women cried, men sighed, and little Chidi sat close to his mother, his eyes red and swollen from tears. Life changed completely after that day. After the burial, Uncle Pascal came again. He wore a black shirt and dark sunglasses. "Ngozi," he said to Chidi's mother, "don't worry, I will take care of you and the boy." But deep inside, he had another plan. He wanted to control everything his brother left behind. The workshop, the land, even the small savings in the bank. At first, he acted kind. He helped fix things around the house and sometimes brought food. But after a few weeks, he started showing his true color. He stopped helping. He started shouting at Chidi's mother, saying she was lazy. He told people in the village that she was wasting his brother's property. Then one morning, he came with some men. They carried papers and a hammer. "This land now belongs to me," he said. "Before my brother died, he promised me everything." Chidi's mother was shocked. "That's not true," she cried. But he pushed her aside. He broke the lock to the workshop and told the workers to start calling him Ogre Pascal. Chidi watched in fear as his uncle took everything. His mother tried to fight back, but nobody helped her. Some people were afraid of Pascal because he had money and friends in high places. Others just didn't want trouble. Soon the house they lived in was taken too. They had nowhere to go. They moved to the village, to Chidi's mother's old home. Life became hard. They had no light, not enough food, and sometimes Chidi went to bed hungry. But his mother never gave up. She kept saying, "Chidi, my son, we will rise again." God is watching. Chidi started going to the village school. He walked long distances every day, but he was one of the best in his class. His teachers loved him. He worked hard because he wanted to make his father proud in heaven. But deep inside him, he never forgot what his uncle did. Meanwhile, Uncle Pascal was enjoying life in town. He bought a new car, built a big house, and boasted to everyone that he was now the richest man in Nanobi. He didn't care that his brother's wife and child were suffering. But what he didn't know was that trouble was slowly coming his way. One evening, Pascal's new car refused to start. He called his mechanic, but they couldn't find any problem. Later that night, he started hearing strange noises in his compound, like someone crying. He came out with a torchlight, but no one was there. The cry continued every night. He couldn't sleep. Fear started to grow in him. He thought maybe it was thieves, so he hired security guards. But even they ran away after a few nights, saying they saw shadows moving around. One guard swore he saw a man who looked just like Pascal's late brother standing by the gate. Pascal shouted at him and told him to leave, but inside he was shaking. He went to a native doctor. The man told him, "Odogwu Pascal, the spirit of your brother is angry. You took what was not yours. Until you make things right, peace will never stay in your house." Pascal laughed and said, "I don't believe in such nonsense." But from that day, bad things began to happen to him. His car got stolen. His big contract failed. One of his workers betrayed him and ran away with his money. His friends stopped visiting him. Slowly, everything he built started to fall apart like sand in the rain. He became restless and bitter. Meanwhile, Chidi was growing. He was now 15, strong and smart. His mother had started selling vegetables in the market. Life was still hard, but they were managing. One afternoon, a man in a clean shirt came to the market and asked for Chidi's mother. "Madam," he said, "your son has been chosen for a scholarship. He can go to the best school in the city." Tears filled her eyes. It was as if God finally remembered them. Chidi went to the city, studied hard, and became one of the best students. Years later, he got a job in a big company. He never forgot his mother's struggle or the wickedness of his uncle. One day he came back home in a fine car. The whole village came out to see him. They shouted, "Chidi has made it." His mother cried tears of joy. She hugged him tightly, but someone else was watching from far, the wicked uncle, Pascal. He couldn't believe his eyes. Pascal was no longer rich. He had sold almost everything. He looked old, tired, and sad. When he saw Chidi, he felt shame. But pride wouldn't let him speak. Later that night, he sent a message. "Chidi, please come and see me." Chidi didn't want to go, but his mother said, "Go and hear what he has to say. Forgiveness brings peace." So he went. When he got there, he saw his uncle sitting alone, coughing, his clothes dirty. Pascal said, "My son, I have wronged you. I took what was not mine. Please forgive me." For a long time, Chidi said nothing. He remembered all the pain, how his father died, how his mother suffered, how they slept hungry. But then he remembered his mother's words about peace. He said quietly, "I forgive you, uncle, but you must return what you took." Pascal nodded weakly. He gave Chidi the papers to the land and the workshop. "Take them," he said. "I don't need them anymore." Tears rolled down his face. For the first time in many years, he felt light, as if a heavy load had been lifted from his chest. Chidi helped rebuild his father's workshop. He employed young boys from the village and taught them to fix cars, just like his father did. The place became busy again. People started calling it Okeki and Son Workshop. It became a symbol of hard work and honesty. Chidi's mother grew old peacefully. She always sat under the mango tree in front of their new house, watching children play and thanking God for mercy. Chidi built her a fine home with running water and light. The town respected them again. As for Uncle Pascal, he became sick. He had no family, no friends, and no money left. But Chidi did not abandon him. He sent food and medicine. People asked, "Why are you helping that wicked man?" Chidi smiled and said, "Because kindness is stronger than wickedness." One night, Pascal called Chidi and said, "My son, I am proud of you. You have taught me that love wins." Those were his last words before he died. Chidi buried him with respect and prayed for his soul. The wicked uncle was gone, but his story remained as a lesson to others. And so, peace returned to Nobi. Chidi grew into a great man, known for his honesty and kindness.